Welcome back to All Things Local STL TV. I'm Chris Slay, your shop local guy, and I'm excited you stopped by. We are coming to you from the ever-impressive Outreach Studios located right here in Richmond Heights, Missouri, and we have two incredible guests for you today. First up, we'll meet Adam Wayne, a local art photographer who captures some of the most stunning photos of locations in and around St. Louis. Adam will share his passion for celebrating our hometown through his art. Next, we're going to meet Marcy Bursac, founder and CEO of the local nonprofit organization, the Forgotten Adoption Option, as she shares her journey into the adoption world through the foster system and how this journey became a calling to help others navigate the system and provide foster children their forever homes. Two amazing St. Louisans that are passionate about what they do and why they do it. So stay tuned. Adam Wayne will be with us right after this short break. St. Louis is an arts town, that's for sure. And our first guest today has an incredible passion and eye for capturing the beauty of St. Louis through his lens. Adam Wayne, an art photographer, has captured some of the most stunning picture portrayals of St. Louis and is currently a resident artist at the Soulard Art Gallery, where you will find many of his masterpieces on display. Today, we're going to learn more about his journey and that passion that drives him to celebrate the beauty of our hometown. Welcome, Adam.
Thank you. Appreciate you having me, Chris.
So happy to have you here,
Thank
man.
you.
I would love to start off with you just sharing your story, how you became the artist you are today.
I appreciate you having me again. Basically, it happened through kind of a coincidence of me walking through the creek in the woods and noticing nature in a whole new light.
Yeah.
I was down and out, but that was just like a reflection I saw of myself in the leaf and the tree.
Yeah.
And basically my head was down that day, but I'm still looking up. It kind of thought was going through my mind. And if I could just capture these things continuously, I could just keep on going through the day and make me happy. So that's basically how it started, was just taking nature images and then uploading them on Instagram, and that was just editing them on my phone and stuff like that. Yep.
No kidding.
Yep.
Okay.
So basically, yeah, it just started by just taking pictures of nature and noticing that everything is beautiful. Yep.
Absolutely. Well, your work is absolutely stunning. And one of the things that you shared with me, we had a great conversation, and you shared with me that your art actually saved you.
Yes.
Let's share that story with everyone.
Yeah, basically, I lost a job for being late to work, and basically it started by me cutting my finger at work, and it resulted in a devastating injury. So
yeah.
I was late after work, so that was one of the reasons they got rid of me, was probably because I cut my finger, and I got compensatory money from that injury. So I took that money in that down moment in my life, and I bought a camera because I was just using my cell phone at the time. And with this Canon PowerShot I bought at Best Buy for like $350 that anybody can go buy, I started taking that camera with a creative shot setting and using that name, creative shot setting, and taking those creative angles and implementing them. But basically, how it saved me is without having a passion for something like photography in my life at the moment, I would have just been, down a dark hole that I didn't want to continue down. Just that, how, going to work every day, being late kind of thing was my mantra. But now I can build a whole new image of myself.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So basically, through photography, I found who I was. Yep, Adam Wayne. So I basically now go through life as like a totally different person.
I love it.
Yep.
I love it. I know that depression was something that was plaguing you, and you were not happy.
Yeah.
But you found joy in the process, as well as, of course, the beautiful outcome of all of your work.
Yeah, basically it's like a manifestation through your thoughts, your positive thoughts, through how passionate you are with what you're doing. So basically I wanted to implement nature as architecture and architecture as nature, because without nature we don't have any structure, and without architecture we nor have structure. So basically they're both one and the same. And like the arch and the raindrop, I have one of those images. It's the same shape, and it's in the crevice of your hand, it's in the crevice of a leaf is the shape of the arch. So just that implementation of that particular shape really set forth the inspiration to keep going on what I was doing.
Well, I've seen so many of your incredible pieces, and I'm always blown away with what your eye captures and your mind captures.
Thank you.
And you've already shared a little bit about what fascinates you when it comes to nature is that these shapes are recurring. They're everywhere.
Yes.
And you see them.
Yeah.
How did that happen? Did it just happen by happenstance, or?
It's like you know, I set projects for myself too early on to get better at certain things. So every month I started a project. So the art of the leaf was my first one.
I remember that.
Yeah, the art of water was, you know, one of them. The art of black and light. So throughout the whole year, every month I did one particular format of photography. I got better at all areas that I needed or wanted to be at. And by the end of the year, I felt like I found my own style of photography, which is important. Yep.
Absolutely. And you did it through repetition, determination.
Yes.
I mean,
yeah, well, I have a beautiful girlfriend at home and a daughter. So the determining factor there was they're very, you know, supportive in my determination on trying to be like the St. Louis legend in photography is what I'm going for. And I wanted to not just be that guy late to work trying to find another job guy. I want to be that inspiration that you don't need the expensive equipment. You don't need a fancy model. You don't need to be trendy. You can just find your own way.
I love it, Adam. I do. And you have found your own way. Tell everybody and share with everyone where you've been featured before with your artwork and where you're currently featured, because I love that story.
Awesome, yeah. So it's by happen chance I got invited to be a part of an art show at Soulard Art Gallery.
Yeah.
And so I won honorable mention at the particular show. They have a format in the front of the store where artists can submit their work for local art shows that we have every month. And I entered into one, honorable mention. So the month after, they invited me to be a resident artist. So now I currently have my own full room there.
Yes.
So that's really neat. It's increased my sales a lot, my value as a photographer. And then now I'm also a featured artist, the only featured artist in the Gateway Art Store as well. I know they followed me on Instagram, so I took it upon myself to ask them if they would like to collaborate. And they invited me down, and they loved my work. So now I have 12 metal prints in the Gateway Art Store for sale.
Yeah.
So that's really cool.
That's
And what's cool about metal printing is that they come with backings, and they don't need to frame them.
Right.
You just go right on the wall, and they're really high gloss looking and sharp.
Oh, they're beautiful. I've been down to the store to see them.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
So, and I love that you just took your shot. You saw they were following you, and you said, hey.
Yes, well, I was featured in a 2020 Impact magazine with them. Yeah. They contact me through Instagram. Most of all my contacts have been through that platform. So it's a very, very cool social network to have as a photographer, locally and nationally.
Indeed, indeed.
Yep.
What would you share, Adam, to a budding artist, somebody just starting out?
Oh yeah, stay yourself, stay unique. Do not look to replicate anybody else. Try to find what you really love and continue to do so in a very creative way. Think about what someone is not doing and do that well.
Perfect,
Yep.
perfect. All right, let's wrap it up, buddy. What do you love about St. Louis?
Oh, well, the complete uniqueness of our landmarks and our parks, I mean, they're endless. And there ain't no other place with a 630-foot steel structure that's shaped like the wave of water.
Ah, there you go.
Yep.
I love it. I love it. Well, thank you so much for being here.
Thank
I
you.
really, truly appreciate your
you.
passion that you have, the eye that you have, and just the way that you carry yourself when it comes to being yourself in your art. So thank you so much.
Awesome.
If you'd like to see some of Adam's art in person, you can head down to the Arch, or for a more extensive display, head over to the Soulard Art Gallery and perhaps have one of his stunning creations in your home soon. You can also learn more about Adam and see his work online by visiting our website, allthingslocalstl.com, to access the directory and then search the keyword Adam. We're going to be right back after this short break, so stay tuned.
Reach your audience with Outreach Studios. Studio 17 offers 1,000 square feet of customizable space that can accommodate roundtable discussions, podcasts, live stream content, and much more. For a different look, we offer View 17. This one-of-a-kind event center is fully wired for broadcast and is perfect for corporate or commercial content. With Outreach Studios, the opportunities are endless. Elevate your message, your brand, and your expectations with Outreach Studios.
Hey everyone, welcome back. And right now, there are 115,000 children in the U.S. foster care system waiting to be adopted. We often only hear the bad stories about the foster system, but our next guest is here to share her story and what she has developed to help potential parents adopt children through the foster care system in less time and less expense than other adoption approaches. Marcy Bursac, author of The Forgotten Adoption Option, has painstakingly worked to help parents and children come together through foster adoption, and she is an advocate in helping to raise funds and awareness for this option. Today we're going to learn a lot more about her journey, the insight she has gained, and how she has shared that with others, and how you too might be able to become a forever family. Welcome, Marcy.
I'm so glad to be here. Thanks for having me.
I'm very excited to have you here. I would like to just start off with, what is the Forgotten Adoption Option?
So it's sort of an accident. During the pandemic, I started an organization just simply because I wanted to teach others to do what I had done, which was I adopted siblings through the foster care system. So It's an organization that provides resources, coaching, and support to help kind of demystify a very complicated and red tape process that's a little crazy to kind of Google it out.
Well, now when you say forgotten adoption option, I think that's because most people don't understand that foster can be a road to adoption.
Right. It gets forgotten because we often say foster children or children in foster care. And we all think, oh, that's so nice. My neighbor, whoever, they are taking these kids in and they'll go back to their biological family. And while I have many friends and family that do that route, and I think it's beautiful, there's actually kind of this unseen population inside of foster care, and they're children who right now the state is actually legally their parents, and they're stuck in the foster care system until either they're adopted or they age out. And these children we also call foster children. And so sometimes you get people that are like, oh, I'm going to foster so I can adopt. Wouldn't highly encourage that. If you want to say I want to adopt through foster care, there's a whole 115,000 children here in the U.S. waiting for you.
Excellent. So what inspired you to actually write the book?
Okay. Embarrassingly, I was frustrated. It was during the pandemic, and I got an email from a local organization that asked me to post some content on my social media, asking local families to come to their training, which is what I did. I went to their local training, but I thought, I don't just have local friends on my social media. How in the world are they even going to see that message? And I kind of shook my fist going, well, someone should. And so I had already, after my husband and I completed our process, we ended up blogging it because it was supposed to be a 4-month process to the adoption hearing. At 9 months in, I was questioning, why did I choose adoption as my plan A? So instead of feeling sorry for myself, I started blogging kind of the parent perspective. And then after people kind of saw that, I had friends and family sending people my way saying, will you teach them how to do this process? And so brilliant. I would. Yeah. They would come over after my kids would go to bed, we'd be in my living room. My husband always thought like I talked really fast, and it was just a daunting process, but every single family did it. So what happened during the pandemic was we all got those stimulus checks. Yes. My husband and I were both employed, and we're like, this feels weird. How can we help someone with this? And so I said, how about I write down what we've been teaching people in our living room? So it's sort of an accident out of frustration.
I get it, because it can be a very frustrating process for people. I mean, you're dealing with a government agency, and the answers don't come quickly, and you have to learn it kind of trial by fire. But you went through this process, adopted 2 children, right?
I did, yeah.
And you were able to then turn it around and be something that you were just being an advocate and a teacher for all these parents.
Right.
And you've helped quite a few. What's that number again?
Okay, so I don't usually track the data. I have a daytime job, right? And so I'm like, oh, at some point I had a grant recently I need to apply for. So I was like, I should probably collate all this. It's over 11,555 families that I've reached in the past 2 years.
That is amazing.
It is incredible.
Truly amazing. And I think that what you're doing is trying to change the story, or maybe change the mindset about fostering. So what can be done to change that story of fostering?
Well, we're doing it during what I just built with 2 local Girl Scouts. It's called, kind of long, Foster Care Adoption Awareness Reading Week. We're using my children's book, Are You a Forever Family, in grade school.
Are You a Forever Family? I'm not sure if you can see that on the screen there. Are You a Forever Family? Which camera are we on? There we go. Okay, perfect. And this is for children to understand.
Children of all ages. What we've done is we built a lesson plan. So I'm actually visiting different schools. I even have a recorded version of me reading the book, but we're helping children not just kind of know, hey, I'm adopted or I know someone adopted, but to really talk about it as a classroom activity and to develop empathy. So really what I think we need to do is just talk about it, because it's kind of a taboo topic and we don't always want to share that we've been in foster care or we know someone in foster care, and that could feel awkward when we don't feel recognized for kind of our diversity, because it kind of feels dirty or maybe shameful, when really it's something that as a community we can come together and love on these children.
Well, and again, unfortunately, we talked about this in popular culture, you know, TV shows, movies, fostering is always kind of put in a bad light. But you've seen the other side of that.
Which is why my colors are deliberately bright.
I love it. Absolutely love it. So in addition to the books, what else do you provide for these parents? So
I'm trying to meet a gap, right? Where is there not content? How do I help scale and teach more families? So I've got the 2 books. I have a podcast. I'm on season 3. I've interviewed people that have been adopted, have aged out of the foster care system, professionals in the field. And then the reading program also is kind of the newest and latest thing I'm doing. I have a research study in the works where we're going to be looking at non-kin adoptive family. My husband and I are not biologically related to our children. My children are biologically related. But we want to be able to look at how can we find those qualities and characteristics of families that are like my husband and me. And there's a specific segment, 30,000 children that are of that 115,000 that don't have an identified foster parent or family member that's going to be adopting them. And I'm trying to help teach the agencies and other people to identify, like, these are common qualities of people that pursue this route. Let's go find them and shrink that number down.
Excellent. And now I understand, once again, you've used your tech knowledge to build an app.
I have. Yeah, launched last November. November is National Adoption Month, and the intention is it's really my how-to book, and you can browse through it and edit at your own leisure. It has all the resources all in one spot for you, but the intention is just to make the path is not as complicated as it sounds. I used to say it's 54 steps. We counted with my development team. It's only 27, so it's ironically half of 54. But what's interesting about it is really the grit to stay in the system when an agency loses your paperwork. You don't hear back because you've submitted your name. All these different nuances happen that really make you want to drop out of the process. And I'm really trying to help people not do that, to help them stay in it, realizing, who am I doing this for? I'm doing it for a child I haven't met yet. And I know that if I stick it through, I'm going to be able to help someone that's waiting for me.
I love that. Stay the course. Stay the course.
Exactly.
Well, how can people help? How can I help and others?
Yeah, so some people help by adopting and reach out to me and say, Marcy, can you just help point me to an organization? Or can you help my spouse and I get on the same page? Other people think, well, Marcy, I don't, this isn't like my thing, but there's so many other ways that I think many of us can see that we can help. One way that people help me is they help donate book bundles. So I ship them across country. That's a really simple way to help. I have others that they'll meet a need. I had a family that I was coaching, I'm currently coaching in Illinois. They're trying to prepare their home for a sibling group of 3 teenagers.
Awesome.
And they're trying to furnish the home. And that's the thing that's kind of a gap in the foster care system, is it's kind of expected that your home is ready to receive these children. And so a family locally here in the St. Louis area asked if they could purchase the twin mattresses for their kids. So they sent me a check. I went on Costco.com and got them shipped on over. So there's many ways that you can meet a need, just simply by using your voice as well. I call myself often a voice for waiting children, but I'm learning that everyone actually has that voice. So you even just talking about them on your social platform, sharing content, bringing it up in conversation. Maybe you know somebody that's got an infertility story and you know that, like, that's a dark thing for them and they don't really want to talk about it. You can let them know that there's some alternatives they can pursue.
Awesome and beautiful in the way that you go about doing it, and literally letting us know that we can all be that voice.
Thank you.
I absolutely appreciate that. Please share a brief story with us about how you've impacted a life here locally.
Yeah, I can't use names, but I can share with you that there are families in this area. I have one right now. It's a couple, and they've been trying to have a baby for some time. So I did not pursue adoption out of plan B. For me, it was plan A, but for some people it is plan B. And this particular family, they have just started their licensing classes. So they've reached out to me saying, I don't know what I'm doing, help me understand this, and just walking each step through that process and validating, Marcy, I submitted my paperwork and the social worker hasn't gotten back to me. And me to be able to say, let's empathize. There's an turnover rate of social workers. There's not enough people. Like, how do we help support the social worker in that scenario? And then as she's been going through classes, we're Marco Polo. I do some of my coaching on Marco Polo, some on Zoom. And so I'm being able to talk with her through how her and her husband are digesting classes, because you learn about content that, like, social workers learn about it, therapists learn about it, counselors, things like that. But it can be really heavy and weighty. And then now you're talking to your significant other about it. And maybe you went to school for that already, so you know, but you've got to really get on the same page. And so typically it takes about 18 months to go from enrolling kind of in the licensing process to finalizing adoption. So this family is in the heat of that right now, and and I'm really excited. They hope to adopt a sibling group of 2 to 4. My daughter likes to say, Mom, if the people you coach adopt 2 or more children like you have, I'm pretty sure we can get every single child a forever family.
Beautiful. Stunning, actually, all the work that you're doing and how you're impacting these lives. It blows me away. Just absolutely blows me away. What do you love about St. Louis?
My favorite thing on earth is actually in St. Louis, the City Museum. I love playing there. It's
Super
great
fun.
to zoom back to childhood, crawl in the caves, enjoy some beautiful artwork and a circus while you're there too.
Absolutely, I love that place. We haven't been there in a while. Got to go back soon.
And you gotta like remember you're gonna hit your head on some sort of concrete and wear pants.
And now that the weather's good, we can get outside.
There you go.
Well, Marcy, I can't thank you enough for being here. I can't thank you enough for just pouring your heart into these families, and helping these kiddos find their forever home. And again, a forever family. As your book says, are you a forever family? Thank you so much.
I consider it a gift. Thank you so much for letting me share my voice.
Awesome, awesome. Hey, if you'd like to learn more about the foster adoption process for yourself, simply go to our website, allthingslocalstl.com, to access our directory and then search the keyword adoption. You can find these books as well right through all of that as you find Marcy's listing. So we'll be right back to wrap things up right after this. Thank you.
That was fun. I want to thank my guests, art photographer Adam Wayne and Marcy Bursac of the Forgotten Adoption Option, for being with us today. You can learn all about them both by going to allthingslocalstl.com. There you're going to learn about the Shop Local and Support Local revolution, as well as see all the incredible St. Louis-based businesses and nonprofit organizations that we feature right here on All Things Local STL TV. So check out our website today, allthingslocalstl.com. Also, please be sure to follow us on social media as we share about the positive and incredible people, businesses, and organizations that make the St. Louis area so special. Our tag is simple, All Things Local STL. And while you're there on social media, please share to help us share these stories so together we can all be a part of the Shop Local and Support Local revolution. I have to thank the incredible team here at Outreach Studios for their support in bringing this show to you. And you can find Outreach Studios and their event space, View 17, one of the most spectacular venues in all of St. Louis, at allthingslocalstl.com as well. And of course, I want to thank you for tuning in, and we look forward to having you join us for future episodes where you can learn more about all things local. Until next time, please be kind to one another and keep loving local. Bye, everyone.